There we go. Sound and we're good. Okay, so we are continuing our Dungeon Crawl Classics one-on-one campaign in the Thousand Islands. We're in the Death Rolled Kingdom. I do that every time I cover it. We're in the Death Rolled Kingdoms. Nikki is well, she's going to tell you about our characters in a second, but they have journeyed to this area seeking, adventure, I guess, and whatever else they may find on their way. And they found some things. And so far, you've been pretty successful making friends of various races and coming into areas that maybe you didn't expect ever existed before. As you travel through, at this exact moment, you guys are traveling up the Goldfish Canals, I believe it's called, headed towards an encampment or a castle that, or something, you're not sure exactly what it is, some kind of fortification that is has a red wall around it that has no means of entrance. It's too smooth to climb, was you were told, and no doors. So in there is a book from which you are, you're getting. I guess you were already paid for this in a sense, so you're kind of doing it now. So go ahead and intro your characters, and then we'll see where we're at, and we'll kind of go from there.
Yes, we were, because Yuna had been cursed. Yuna the thief had been cursed by a witch in the previous session, and so she had to go see Mr. Sir, the crocodile, to get the curse lifted, which she did, and met him, and he has no hands, and so now she's also looking for his hands in this red keep, in addition to the book. And Orin is a wizard, and he was on watch last week and managed to resist lying down with the weird vines and earth that wanted him to give them his warmth. And yeah, so now they're back in their canoe. They have a strange old woman with them named Maya, and we are heading down the Goldfish Canal.
That's correct. She's seeking adventure. She's quite elderly, but full of spirit. So, you had fled the loving embrace of the vines last session and got into your canoe, in the darkness, which seems totally safe, I suppose. But as you're kind of doing that, before we get too far into this, we did kind of skip over the fact that Orin, when you had defeated the witch who was selling the god smoke, Orin had consumed a pink egg, right? Which brought him into a dream state in which he was able to learn a spell. And we're going to cut back to that because we'll do that now. And as he enters into this space, he realizes that he has the ability to choose, amongst all this magic that exists, well, all of it that he knows of that exists in the world, and he chose to take Find Familiar. So we thought it would be fun to run through the process of creating a familiar in Dungeon Crawl Classics. So we'll do that first. And then, is that the right book? Yes, it is. Okay. I have so many RPG books open. All right, so let's find the section on... It's in the Judge's Rules. Summoning a familiar. So, what we'll do is first you're going to need to cast the spell itself. So we'll do that first. So essentially, when you're doing Find Familiar, it's what, first level spell? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was looking it up. So if you played DCC before and you're looking at this and you're like, Find Familiar has like almost everything listed says per judge because the judge has to work with it. So we're going to do it together because I think it'd be fun. But go ahead and make your spell check. Now you're going to probably spell burn, I guess. I don't know if I guess you technically leveled up too before this happened, so you can use your current level as part of your equation there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it'd be however many points you want to spell burn, plus your. Now this thing takes a long time, it says, but because it's 1 week to cast, but you're kind of doing it in the dream world. So in actual time, this is when was sitting watching his unconscious body for 8 hours. but for Orin, weeks will have gone by. As he's going to cast his spell and then become friendly with his familiar before he emerges. So,
all right, he will spell burn. The 6 from there. And 6 from there, so that's 12. That's what he will spell burn.
only 12? Okay, you do as much as you want.
Only 12. Well, no,
I mean, I don't know what you have, but you can do it as much as you want.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, 12's not bad.
No, but I can take 3 from there too. Actually, I could take 5 from there. So 7. I'll burn. We'll just make it a number like 18.
You don't have 2 more?
I do.
You realize that if you burn 20, then it's an automatic crit, which means you add double your level to it.
Oh. Yeah, I have enough. There's definitely enough there without going to 0 and anything. So.
All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, Orin's going to be quite weakened, but you just not too far back down. All right. So I don't know. Tell me about this ritual. Like, what is it? What is it about your? How does this ritual take place? And since you're burning all this, so you spell burning so much. Like, what's going on that you're burning up all your strength or personality or whatever? Or no, stamina is what you burn up, not personality. I don't know why it's personality. Stamina, strength, and agility is what you can burn.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you still burn 20?
I'm looking.
Okay. Yeah, it's only physical stats. I am pretty sure. Let me actually just look. I haven't actually looked at the rule in a long time.
Yeah, I should have it here.
Strength, agility, or stamina. Yep. Because you're basically physically damaging yourself.
Okay, well then I can't cast 20, but I can do...
Bummer.
15. I can do 15, so we'll
okay, that's still good. You just don't get the automatic crit. So you'll do your level only once as part of the thing. So what is it about this ceremony that's so exhausting that completely depletes you of all your physical?
Well, I'm going to say he is imbuing the familiar with parts of himself, parts of his strength and his stamina, and he's actually giving life force away in order to summon this thing. So nice. He's actually, yeah. So he will cut himself because that's what he brands normally. But for this, because blood is has life force in it, he's going to cut himself so that the magical properties of the blood can reach out to find this familiar. Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
Nice. Yeah, like you get take a rib out, basically.
Exactly. Well, I mean, not really, but.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Blood spilled is
I mean, no, yeah, I mean that figuratively. You're not actually going to pull a rib out. Okay, so go ahead and roll your spell check. So you'll add your spell burn, you'll add your int modifier, you'll add your level.
Okay, 4.
Don't roll a 1. Because it still could go south very badly.
I did not roll a 1.
Thankfully.
I rolled a 17.
Holy crap.
So plus 15 plus 4. So 17 plus 19.
36.
36.
Okay. So that falls into the 30 plus category.
Yes.
All right. So let's take a look at this. So a wizard can summon a familiar with the spell Find Familiar. The resulting familiar is determined by the spell check and the alignment. The higher the spell check, the more powerful the familiar. So what is Orin's alignment?
He's neutral.
He's neutral. Oh, fun. That is a demonic familiar.
Nice.
So I guess there's some demon in Orin's blood, apparently. Possibly connected to the dead god that he keeps
Possibly.
connecting with. All right, so there's a bunch of stats, which we'll deal with in a second, but let's look at demonic for a second, because there's other things to roll first, I think. All right, so demonic familiar. This is a familiar specifically sent from the nether regions or an outside plane, or in exchange for favors performed by supernatural patrons. Since you're not a patron, it would be alien cast, so its feature. Okay, so it has sensitivity to corruption and negative energy. Anytime a wizard rolls a 1 on a spell check, which results in corruption, the familiar automatically absorbs half of the effect. Oh wow, that's nice. Let's see. But it also has a claim to the wizard's soul. If the wizard dies while the familiar still lives, the wizard's soul is claimed by the familiar. The wizard then cohabitates the familiar's body for all eternity.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
So don't die. Or I guess you could.
Well, if you die, you'll go into the familiar, basically. Yeah. There is actually a chance, if the appropriate magic is performed, the wizard's soul may be transferred to another physical form. So it's almost like a way to come back from the dead, if that, as long as the familiar doesn't die before you have a chance to do that.
Right.
And the familiar also has an immunity to many mortal diseases, poisons, and infections. As a result of this, the wizard gains +4 bonus to fortitude saves against any time of infection, poison, disease, or other debilitating effect. Let's see. Okay. Any effect that bypasses is split between the wizard and the familiar. Oh, okay. Any effect that bypasses this is split. If the wizard is affected by a spider bite that causes him 2 stamina, the familiar loses 1, the wizard loses 1. Okay. So it didn't help you. Well, and it also has an attack +2 that does 1d4 damage. We'll have to figure out all the stats and give it to you after. Well, no, I mean, you have the book too, so you can just look it up. But let's see what it looks like.
Okay.
So I guess you could do this. It doesn't actually explain. I think the way to do this is. Oh, okay. There's only one table. All right. So go ahead and roll a d14.
A d14.
Yeah, and there's no bonus to this. It's just flat.
Okay. Let me get my pile of dice. Here we go. I rolled a 12.
Hey. 12. Oh. Okay, this familiar is a horned slug. It's got a melee attack that causes a paralysis with a fortitude 12 save. That's pretty good, actually. That's very good, actually. So it's a horned slug demon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. And, we gotta get its personality. So that's just a d20.
D20? All right. 16.
Oh, boy. Aloof.
Oh, God.
It's an aloof slug. Oh, my God. That's actually amazing. All right. I was putting this in the chat so we have it. All right. Well, I guess we could go through quickly the process here. So, all familiars. Oh, I have a d4 plus 2 hit points, so go ahead and roll a d4 for its hit points.
Okay. 3, so +2, so 5.
5, yeah. It starts with an AC of 14. It uses your saving throws. 5 int. It communicates telepathically, though it's limited by the familiar senses and intelligence. You can see through, like, the hold on. Yeah, you can, right. You can basically communicate with the familiar. If it can see something, it can tell you. You get bonus hit points equal to the familiars, so he gets bonus hit points equal to the familiar's hit points.
Okay.
It says if the familiar has a natural ability, the wizard gains +4 bonus when using the same ability. For example, a wizard with a cat familiar gains +4 when attempts to sneak silently. I'm not sure if a slug has a natural ability,
Probably
but
not.
if you can think of one, okay, so you have a demon familiar, so it actually gets. I'm looking at if it has any bonuses. Oh, its attack does. It's +2 to attack. It does a D4 damage, but also, and it also because it's a slug. It also they must make a DC 12 Fortitude save, or be paralyzed.
Right. Or be paralyzed for 1d4 plus caster level.
Right.
And
That's
he
a
gets a
pretty
+2.
damn good familiar.
I like him. I have to think of a name for him now. I'll have to think.
Right.
What's a good name for a slug?
Right, a slug familiar, a demon slug at that. I mean, yeah, he's he'll go right along with the rest of your pigs. So when the 8 hours or whatever passes and Orin arises, he wakes up his eyes and opens his mouth and a slug crawls out.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, and it smiles at There's like some slime dripping down Orin's mouth, and
Yuna is disgusted.
but that was weeks ago, and you've gotten over that by now. That's a pretty neat familiar. So there you go. That's your familiar. That's pretty badass. Nice. Just if it gets killed, you take damage too. I think is the way that works.
Yeah,
that's the only downside to it. Yeah. Well, you'll lose the hit points anyways that it gave you. That's for sure. I don't know what other bad things happen if it dies.
Lots of bad stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's actually
over an intense pain. You lose twice the familiar's hit points permanently.
Yeah.
And suffer a -5 spell check penalty until the next full moon. So.
That is pretty serious.
Don't die. Yes.
Right. Do not let your familiar just even though it can fight. I don't want to charge in battle with this thing.
Oh no.
Nice.
The Orin's always got the gross stuff.
And by the way, I don't know if you were looking at the book clearly, right? So on that page with the familiar, someone familiar has the what is the price of spell knowledge? Oh, we're definitely using that.
Where?
It's on page 316. It's like right next to summoning a familiar. Yeah. So yeah. There's some funny stuff in there. Yeah. Yeah, or the page before it has where is the spell knowledge found. So I have the eggs right now, but if you end up using up all your eggs or they get broken because you are carrying around a bunch of eggs, keep in mind you're carrying eggs. I imagine they're being tended to very carefully currently, but you never know what can happen. All right, so that happened, and it was weeks ago. Shoot forward back to today. Or tonight, as it would be, as you're going up the river. The stars are out, so you can still see, you can see them sparkling off the water, but it's pretty dark here as you start to move away from the safety of your camp, we'll call it.
I don't think it was all that safe.
Well, it's all relative, I guess. Roll D4 for me.
Okay. I rolled a 1.
Nice. Always good. All right, cool. So you're paddling up the river a bit, and you kind of start to go around like a bend, like the river's doing a bit of a snake, and you can see as you're bending out this way, through off this way where you're going to end up because it's going to wrap around. You see actually some light flickering. It looks like maybe there's a campfire, maybe like 100 yards into down the river.
A campfire. Well, we don't want to. We probably don't want to continue down the river in the dark. Yeah, we'll check it out. Um, yes, we will check out the campfire.
Okay, so you're just gonna go down the river normally until you get to it eventually.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. You can totally do that. Yeah, so you're cruising down the river. Again, it kind of circles and kind of bends this way, and you can see as you kind of it comes down. Again, this campfire, it's set like maybe like 20 feet off the water. This is basically like a bit of a beach area.
Okay.
Um, and then a little bit off the water, you can see, this relatively large campfire. And there's maybe a half dozen people gathered around it, or figures. I mean, you can't really see them that well from we see it mostly shadowed. They seem to be kind of large, maybe, 7 feet or more tall, with kind of bulky looking. They're carrying on the conversation. You notice immediately on the shoreline that where the thing is, you can see that there's some baskets there that are kind of just sitting there, and also some like fishing rods.
All right. Can we pull our kayak, our crocodile-shaped kayak, into the shoreline, and then will kind of get out and tell Oren and Maya to stay back, and she'll kind of sneak up.
Sure. Do you want to try to do that all very stealthily?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you can probably so you don't go right in the middle of the shoreline. You can probably go right at the edge where it first starts to break from the trees, so you have a little more cover. You might have to take a couple steps through the water or something, but it's not a big deal. You can definitely do that. Go ahead and do a sneak.
Sneak
silently.
All right. That's right. +5. Ooh, 21.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you sneak up, pretty close, close enough that you think you can get without being in the firelight, and you notice that these people are bright blue in tone. They are completely hairless, as far as you can tell, but they are wearing what kind of looks like loose-fitting clothes. I'm not going to say pajamas, but kind of like pajamas. Just loose-fitting like that. That seem to have some fun, different designs on them. Beehives and crocodile heads and various things. Each from what you can tell, and they seem to be cooking something over the fire. It looks like maybe like a deer or something. Some kind of. And in front of them, in front of each one of them, is like a big tankard, and they're drinking and stuff. They don't seem to take notice of you.
Bright blue people.
Yeah, they're blue. Oh, and also they look like bears, but with no hair, and they're blue.
They look like bears with no hair, and they're blue.
Well,
and they're wearing pajamas.
Well, I mean, loose-fitting clothes. I don't want to say pajamas, but like pajamas, like that style of kind of loose-fitting,
right?
Pajamas
look like bears. Interesting.
And they have they have designs on them and stuff like honey. So.
All right. I'll walk forward and say,
okay. Go ahead.
Hail there at the fire.
They look quite frightened. They all kind of start there. Oh, you stuck up on us. What are you doing out here?
I'm sorry. We ran into some trouble, and we had to go down the river in the dark, and I saw your fire, and I thought maybe you'd be friendly enough to share your fire with us.
Yeah, sure. Where'd you come from? Because do you know how to get out of here? Hold on, you have a boat? Ooh, maybe you could take us out of here. Oh, perfect. Maybe you could take us.
Well, are you stuck?
One of them says. Yeah, and then one of the ones back is, how are we all going to fit in a kayak, George?
um, let me get my companions, and we can talk about this. Okay?
Okay, sure. Don't linger too long by the water.
Why?
I've heard you can't swim at night.
Are there monsters in the water?
No, you just can't swim at night.
Oh,
Well, you forget how to do it.
that's interesting. I don't think that's true. But let me get my companions. I won't go in the water.
Pretty sure that it's true, and they start talking amongst themselves about whether or not it's true.
I'll go back and get Orin and I guess Maya if she wants to come.
Okay.
She probably does.
Well, yeah, of course she does. This is an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets out. She's hopping, from the one foot to the other, as she kind of follows behind you.
Orin with his horned slug.
Where is the horned slug currently?
Oh, it's on his shoulder.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yep. Yep. And we come up and I say, "What? How can you not leave this place? How did you get here without a boat?"
Well, all right. So we went out for a picnic, and we thought we heard some bees, so we chased them, for the honey. And then once we got the honey, we don't know how to get back.
Okay.
We're heading to Singa.
Oh, you're heading back towards Singa.
Yes. We have to pay our taxes, and they're definitely overdue by now.
Oh. Are you from Candies?
We are. How can you tell?
I was told people from Candies are blue.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Most of us. Some are like aqua. Or cyan.
Well, how many are there? How many people?
There's 6.
Yeah, they're not all going to fit in the kayak.
I mean, and they're bears, so yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to get you all back to Singa. I only have the one boat, and it's not very big.
Well, that is a problem.
Yes.
We're terribly late.
I know. I think there's somebody looking for you.
They're looking for us?
Yes.
Is it? Oh, they want? What do they want?
I think they just want to talk to you.
Huh. Is it Franco's mother?
Franco's mother. No, I don't think so.
Because she doesn't usually like when we go out for picnics. She's always saying, you just take the taxes down, don't get distracted. So I'm sure that Franco's in trouble. And then one of the blue guys nods. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely in trouble.
Well, maybe I could take the taxes for you. And then you won't be in trouble.
Well, I mean, are you a tax collector?
I am not.
Oh, I think we're supposed to give it to the tax collectors. I mean, it's a lot of gold. I don't think that we should just give it to anybody.
I understand.
I mean, you look honest. But, you know, if you're
Hmm.
not a tax collector, maybe you could go get a license to be a tax collector and then come back.
A license. There seems to be a lot of licensing happening in the Death Roll Kingdoms.
Well, it's important to have licenses so you know who can do what.
But I do have a question. If you went out for a picnic, so you're just lost, did you come down the river originally? The Goldfish
Well,
Canal?
no, not the goldfish canal. What? Oh, this is the goldfish. No wonder why there's so many goldfish in there.
So why don't you just retrace your steps?
Well, we don't have a very good sense of direction, if I'm being honest.
Well, maybe I could lead you. Maybe I could find your tracks.
Maybe. You're very nice. Would you like some food? They point at the deer thing that they're cooking.
Oh, we've May I probably want some.
She's already sitting
We
down
have,
eating.
yeah, we've already eaten our rations for the night, so
Oh,
we had a incident on another piece of land, so we had to travel at night. But if you let us
oh,
share your campfire, I can try to lead you out of here. I can try a little bit. Not
okay,
really.
sure, of course. They kind of move or mix up. You see, Maya steps right up and starts eating. One of the bears is giving her some food. Well, he's a blue bear, but the Candace man, and yeah, she's getting along well with them. Uh, and they tell you that yeah, they were coming down. They don't know how long ago it was now because they also have a terrible sense of time. But they know it has to have been a few days because because they were hungry, so they had to eat, even though they had all that honey, which they don't have anymore because they finished it. And now, so they caught this deer. They were trying to fish, but they only got goldfish, and you don't eat goldfish. They're like pets.
Right. Of course, no, you wouldn't eat goldfish.
Hmm.
I'm glad you managed to catch the deer so that you weren't hungry when I walked up to you.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. It's a joke, a human joke that I guess it was a joke.
I see. Kind of looks at you with a curious. He rubs his chin. Yeah, yeah. We caught the deer. It was very nice to us, and it
And now
said,
you're eating it.
"Sure." Well, I mean, it offered.
Oh, the deer offered itself to you.
Well, we told it that we were hungry, and it said, "Sure." I mean, you wouldn't want to eat a deer that didn't offer itself to you. That would be like murder.
I've just never known animals to offer themselves up as food before.
Well, maybe you just don't speak the right language.
That's probably correct. That's probably correct. So we will share your fire, and in the morning we'll try to get you back. We were trying to go to Singa. You might need a boat.
Well, if we get to the river, then we can get a ride with the traders. That's what we usually do.
The river's right. Okay. Yes.
The main river is what they mean.
Oh, okay.
The really wide river that you came up. That's just called the river
Okay.
because they don't have very creative names. This is actually it probably does have a name, but I don't know what it is. This is you're on the canals right now, which of course leads to the river. But these aren't the smartest bears you've ever encountered.
No, and I'll ask them because the Goldfish Canal is not that deep, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
I will say
It
to
is not
them,
very deep.
if I could probably lead you if you don't mind getting your feet wet. I could probably lead you back up the canal to the main river, actually, and send you on your way. Because you could walk. You could just follow my boat.
I, how do you walk in water?
Well, you
You have
just
to
walk in
swim.
it. No, it's not deep, and you're big. You're bears.
I don't.
You could walk.
But our clothes will get wet.
Well, but you can dry them, and you can buy new clothes once you turn in your taxes.
I don't know about that. These are nice. That kind of shows us.
They're very nice clothes. But wouldn't that be just the easiest way if you just followed me up the canal? I could show you that you can walk in water, and your clothes will dry.
I don't know. That seems like a. That doesn't seem like a very smart plan. Walking in water. Hmm.
Well, sure.
We start
Don't you
doing what?
fish in water?
Well, with the fishing poles,
And don't you swim like during the day since you can't swim at night?
we do swim. Oh, so you're saying that we should swim down the canal?
If you
Well,
need
that
to,
makes
but
more sense.
I'm
We could
saying that you
definitely
could,
swim.
but you don't. Oh, okay, yes. If you could follow me swimming, I could take you. I could lead you back up
Yeah.
to the
Well,
main river.
you know that the men from Candace, we're from Candace. We are known to be great swimmers.
I did not know that. I'm new to the area.
Oh,
Well, then
will
that's
you
easy. I'll
hold
just
our?
lead you.
Well, will you hold our clothes in your boat, and we will put on our swim clothes?
Of course.
Well, then that's perfect. Have you got any honey?
Ooh. I'd. Hmm. I'll give them. I do. I do have a honeycomb, but I am going down the river and I need it for food.
Oh, they seem sad.
Yeah.
They kind of like they get their feet. They're kind of like scratching on the ground with their toes. That's fine. I'm sure that there'll be other honey. It's not like we're starving to death and lost in the woods for multiple days and we don't really know what we are.
Oh, I have 5 honeycomb.
Oh, there's 6 of
I'll
them.
get. I know there's 6 of them, so that's really not enough. um, do you know Mr. Goodbear?
Mr. Goodbear,
Yes.
of course. He's the best detective in all the Death Roll Kingdoms and beyond. He's very, very smart and knows how to
Yeah,
find stuff.
and very observant.
Yep.
I think he.
I don't think we could introduce you to him to be low. He's we don't really know him personally.
Oh, I've met him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that's
Near
very
Singa.
exciting.
Yeah, he was very nice.
Oh, he's near Singa. Well, that's even more reason to go there. This
All
is a
right.
perfect plan.
A perfect plan. What could go wrong?
We will swim to Singa.
Well, you can swim to the river where there might be a boat that you could take. I'll get you back as
Right.
far as the river where you can get a boat with a trader.
Okay. That seems like a good plan.
Okay, and I'll hold your clothes for you so they don't get wet.
I appreciate it. So they
Are
seem pretty happy with that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. They basically, they've got this like box, which they say that the taxes are in. Um, and then they have some, like some other, they have luggage, like suitcases or whatever. And, and yeah, that's it. So you're going to be kind of loaded up in the kayak with all this stuff. But
Are these the people that he was looking for, do I think? Mr. Goodbear?
I mean, he was looking for men from Candace who owed money on for the tariffs, right?
Yep, for then violating the trade agreements.
Yep.
I could tell him they're coming. Because I have the earpiece.
That is true.
But he's probably sleeping, so I'll wait till the morning.
It is nighttime, yeah.
All right. Well, if they'll let us share their fire, we'll stay here with them.
Oh yeah, they're all about it. They have the fire going. They're eating the deer. Maya's eating the deer as well, telling stories about her grandchildren to the men. And yeah, you can settle down and have a nice relaxing evening by the fire. No vines try to seduce you, and the night passes. So yeah, you get up. In the morning you wake up. The sun's coming up. The bears are up bright and early. They're doing stretches and stuff, because they got to swim. So they're kind of getting ready.
Okay. Oh, they all. Please don't drown them all.
Listen, it was your idea. I'm just going with if you want to lead the poor blue bears down the...
Yeah, we'll, I'll say, okay, we'll go to the boat now. You guys can follow me, and Orin, and the slug, and Maya.
Okay, yeah. So they go out like behind some bushes and they change, and they come back in like swim trunks and like goggles and stuff, and they've got their suitcases with their clothes in them, and they kind of bring them up, and like there's like these 6 suitcases plus the chest of gold, so your kayak is it's very low in the water. Yeah. So, you're probably like doing some scraping on the bottom when you get into this thing, but, we'll say that it's fine for now. Yeah. And of course they get, that they get ready on the edge. They're like going to dive in, and they're just like, and of course the water's not very deep. So they kind of, and, they're basically like standing in the water, but they're kind of like doing this like they're swimming. And they're like, all right. We can keep this up all day. I'm a great swimmer. And they're kind of trying to swim in the very shallow water.
Yes, I told you could just walk, though. I mean, it's not very deep. Don't you see? Just walk in it.
Yeah, they're like go ahead and make a personality check. The D20 plus personality. See if you can convince them to do it. DC 10.
13.
All right, yeah. So you say that, and the one of them, he looks at you funny. He's the fattest one, so basically his stomach's actually on the ground while he's in the water. So like he's not even like he's not going anywhere. So he finally kind of like puts his arms down and he kind of stands up, and then he's like, "Oh my God, I'm walking in the water." And then he starts walking around. And they all get very excited about this. And then now, maybe like 10, 15 minutes go by of them kind of running back and forth through the water, scaring the hell out of all the goldfish that are flying by as these blue bear men in bathing suits are rushing around in the water. But eventually with goggles on, yeah. So eventually you get, one of them has a nose plug. Eventually you get them back in the water. So you're going to go back now. You're going to go back to Singa, right? Yeah,
I told them I'd lead them at least back to the river where they could find.
Yeah. Well, you're basically leading them back to what the hell is that name of that town? Sajaya, basically.
Right.
Where you came from. Okay. All right, that's fine. Yeah, and you put there, like I said, they have this like chest of taxes money, Did you want to reach out to the good bear? Or are you gonna wait till you get down there?
I'll reach out to if they're prancing around in the water. They probably won't pay attention. I'll reach out to Mr. Goodbear on my earpiece. Mr. Goodbear, it's Yuna.
Yuna, I don't see you anywhere.
You gave me the earpiece, remember?
Are you invisible?
No, I'm
Oh,
talking to you.
oh, all right. Oh, you hear him kind of mumble. He's like, "Oh God, it worked. Oh, that's great. Are you okay? What's going on? How's the family?"
We're fine, but I found some blue bear men. They say they're from Candice.
Oh, the men from Candice. Yeah, they're in violation of the tariffs.
Well, they say they were delayed, and they're bringing the taxes now. And I just want to let you know that they're on their way to Singa.
Oh, that's excellent. Did you have to rough them up?
No, they were very nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought so, but you never can tell.
They're a little strange, but...
Strange?
Yeah. Just a little strange. But they're nice.
I see. I mean,
They're
I'm
blue,
pretty observant, and I've seen them before, and they didn't seem very strange to me. Perhaps they're bewitched.
Well, maybe it's just that I'm not from around here.
Oh, that could be it. What are you noticing, though? Are they, like, on fire?
No, just they seem to have a very poor sense of direction.
Oh, yes, yes. Men from Candies are known for that. What's all that noise?
Oh, I'm leading them back up the Goldfish Canal, and they're playing in the water.
Oh, well, make sure you don't swim after dark.
Oh no, because you forget how.
I do?
Well, I'm sorry. People forget. That's what I was told, that some people forget how to swim after dark.
Oh. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so watch out for these bears. I'm going to drop them off at the river where they can take a trader boat to Singa, because I have more adventuring to do.
Okay. Well, this will be good. There's a reward.
Yes,
I
honey.
will have honey for you next time I see you.
That's amazing. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Good Bear.
Thank you. Who's this?
I look at Orin and go, "We're never gonna get the honey." I'm Yuna.
Oh, hey, Yuna. How you been?
I've been fantastic, doing a lot of adventuring. I'm dropping off the men from Candice.
I know you told me that.
Oh. Well, okay, good. I'm just making sure. I'm forgetful.
Yeah. Yeah, humans are very forgetful. Okay. I will see you in Singa.
Yes, you will see me in Singa.
Okay.
All right. Take care, Mr. Bear.
Take care, Yuna.
All right. So, how far are we from?
Oh, well, that was like a whole day's travel.
Well, good.
The good thing is,
anywhere.
you went upriver a day, and then you went back downriver a day. Yeah, I think that was a day. Yeah, one day. So, you go down the river with the bears following. They're walking in the water because it's not very deep. They do stop on occasion to have conversations with goldfish and such, so they're not going particularly fast. But you're making time as you go. Go ahead and roll a d4.
D4. All right.
Yeah.
A 2.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh no.
Let me prepare myself for this. Okay. All right, so you're traveling down the river. You're bringing the men from Candace to bring them out here, and you have a reward coming for that. If you ever see the bear again.
Right. Or if he remembers who I am.
Well, it was early, so you're motoring along, and again, these bears are they're kind of, sometimes they go ahead of you, and sometimes behind. They're running through the water and splashing. They're having a good time, jolly old time. They're men from Candies, and that they enjoy running around through the water in their bathing suits. In any case, right around the boat, like pretty much all around the boat, all of a sudden, bubbles start to come through the thing, and as the bubbles are popping, you can hear this very kind of like a melancholy song being sung, like almost operatic, coming like as the bubbles are popping, like the sound of them is being released through the whole area, and you notice almost immediately that's all you can hear. Like you don't hear the bears running around, even though you can see them. It's like all you can hear is this sound as these bubbles are coming up around you, and then in like kind of Godzilla fashion, coming up out of the water. Oh wow, okay. Rising up, like it must have been laying down. It rises up out of the water, 10-foot tall demon statue, basically, like you've seen before. It has 6 arms this time, and they're all on the sides, and none in the front this time. Its eyes are closed. It has a big smile on its face as it's singing this incredibly sad operatic song. It's using its lower set of arms to play what is essentially like a violin, like it has it down here, and it's like, and the middle set of arms, it has shakers, castanets, I guess you call them, which doesn't fit opera at all, but that's what it is. But then in the top set, it has swords. So,
oh boy.
Yeah. So it kind of comes up in the boat, of course. Go ahead and make a reflex save. This is going to be a hard one at a DC 15. And everybody on the boat has to make it, or the boat's going over with all that luggage, and you're going to get the clothes wet.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. I'll even let you roll for May after you do yours. The old lady.
Oh, well, I rolled 1 success, 1 fail. That was a nat 20 on that one. Dang it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this thing happens and the boat just goes, and it starts going back and forth. I mean, the water's not very deep, but you all kind of tumble into the water. I guess if you succeeded, you're probably still in the boat, but whoever failed falls out. Oh, actually, we got to roll for, go ahead and roll for Maya. We'll give her just no bonus. She's just straight. She doesn't have any agility bonus. She has a hurt foot.
Yeah, no, she rolled a 2.
Okay, yeah, so she splashes into the water. I guess who fell in? Oren, I'm guessing?
Oren, yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It'd be embarrassing if Una fell in because she's the agility. Yeah, so splash. The bear's luggage falls in. Some of the suitcases open up, and the pajamas are like floating down the stream as this thing comes up, swinging these swords around. And the bears are like they've been running around the water having fun, and then when they see this thing, they're just like, they're very surprised by a giant demon idol. So, but you're not actually surprised. So we will roll initiative because this thing is going to come in combat and attack you. It's going to try anyways. Oh my god, I got a 19, which is not good for you. Just I mean, maybe who knows? You might go first. But it seems
Una got a 12, and Oren got a 3. So no, it's not good.
I guess I should have. I guess I should roll for the bears too, because they'll probably. Oh, and also Maya. So let's see. Bears got a 12. Maya got an 11. So everybody's going before Oren. So it goes idols, then everybody, and then Orin. All right. So yeah, this thing looks pretty pissed off that, or whatever it looks. I mean, actually, it looks happy. So it doesn't look pissed off at all, to be honest with you. It looks incredibly happy as it's playing its music and singing and swinging its swords around as if it wants to cut you to pieces. And it's going to go first. So let me look up. Let me pull up the monster.
The monster.
The monster. All right. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. So it's a +3 melee, D8 damage. Oh, actually, this is stone. So that's always the same, I guess. All right. So it's going to make a swing. I guess since you're the only one in the boat. Well, actually, I'll roll randomly to see who it goes after. I'll roll a D3. The bears are in the back currently, so it's either going to go after Yuna, Maya, or Orin. I'm just going to do it in initiative order.
Okay.
So here we go. The attack roll is a 17. It goes after the third person, which is Orin. So Orin, who fell in the water, stands up and gets attacked by this this creature that gets a 17 on the attack. So I'm assuming that hits.
Yes, that hits.
Yeah, and does a D8, which I already rolled. Oh, it only does 1 point of damage, though. So
all right.
He stands up and the sword swings by, and he's probably like whoosh, back in the water. And a little bit of blood drips out. And then it is Yuna's turn.
Okay, did everything fall out of the boat?
It was like, it's a kayak, so it was like strapped on the tops and stuff, so like some of it dumped out and it came back up. So not everything, no. Like what in particular?
The barrel of blasting powder.
Make a luck check.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, 3 under 12.
Nice. Nope, that saved the boat, no problem. You strap that thing down clearly.
All right. Does it have like a fuse or something?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to lay it up and jump out of the boat, and I want to send the boat at the monster, and I want to blow it up.
Oh my god. All right, that's fine.
What I want to do.
All right, that is fine. Sure, it has a fuse. You're on the boat. You can do that. That seems legit.
Yep.
I'll say it's going to go off at the end of the round. Not that it matters because the creature already went. Actually, I mean, it's going to go off after it gets to go again, I guess, to give it enough time for it to burn. That makes sense. So everybody else can go. Because, of course, you're lighting this thing. This thing's not very far away, so you're going to be pretty close to it when it blows up. So what is your exact plan? You're going to let the boat go, then do what?
And run and tell everybody to run down the canal away from this boat and this monster. Everybody run. Orin will grab Maya.
Okay, that's fine.
Carry her.
Yeah, she's jumping from one leg to the other. She's jumping from one leg to the other. Okay, that's fine. I mean, this thing's not super smart.
Yes, I know it'll ruin our kayak, but that's okay.
And, like, half your shit. Okay, so, yeah. Go ahead and roll. I'll give it a saving throw as well. I'll give it a reflex save. But you can roll 5d8 damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just give out my little dice roller here.
Okay. Since you're sacrificing everything, I'll give. I am going to give it a reflex save, though, just for half damage. Okay. Nope, didn't make it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to do math again. You know me. 36? 36.
36. Okay, so go ahead and explain this scene as you blow this thing up and everybody's running.
Yeah, so Yuna sees Orin fall. She sees it take a swipe at him, and she's like, "God, damn statues!" and so she will grab one bag of stuff. I'm gonna stipulate that really quick. That she probably pulled the torch out, or the flint and steel out to light the fuse.
Right.
And she'll jump out of the boat and tell everybody to run, including the bears, scattering goldfish as we go. And yeah, this hits this.
They play with the goldfish.
Yeah, it'll hit the statue, and Yeah, it'll just explode. Like, the statue will blow into pieces, and so will the boat, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. There's like pajamas in the trees, like hanging there and stuff, like burnt.
Yep, and
Um,
honeycomb, and
and honeycomb and everything else. Yeah.
yep, yep, yep.
All right. Yeah. So this terrible music, operatic music is being sung, and then the finale of it is a massive explosion, which sends shards of stone and pajamas and honeycomb and everything else. You
And
wet
goldfish,
boat,
unfortunately,
goldfish,
probably.
yes, probably tons
Goldfish.
of goldfish, and goldfish all over the place. But it did kill it, so that was a pretty effective use of a boat. Wow. Okay. There you go. Blown
Yeah.
to pieces. Okay.
So now Orin turns to Yuna and goes, "Well, now what do we do?"
So you're all
That was-
standing wet.
Yeah. And the bears. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, most of their pajamas are probably ruined or destroyed, so they're basically just in their swim trunks. Also, I mean, what did you take? What was the one thing that you took?
Oh, in the bag.
You said you took a bag. What was it?
There was just her. We'll say it had the rations in it and the honeycomb. I want to save that.
Okay. What do I with the music box? No, is that destroyed now?
Yeah. No, we'll keep the music box.
Okay.
And I was wearing my cloak, so that's fine.
Oh right, you have the cloak too.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well,
most of the
yeah.
other stuff is gone.
Yeah, so you see the men from Candace, they're like, oh my, and then you see this, they start like looking around. They're picking up gold coins because their taxes, of course, are blown all over the river. It's like a wishing well. Like there's goldfish and then there's gold all scattered across the river as they're trying to pick it up, and they're like, we have to count it. What happened? What happened? Because of course they didn't know what the plastic powder was or whatever. So they seem very confused and very saddened that their taxes are now spread all over the river bottom. And as you stand
So
there,
music box, rations, and honeycomb. That's all I saved. I'll have to go buy everything else again. I'll say that I may have acted rashly, Orin, but statues, they just creep me out after all the experiences we've had. He will just glare. Just the death stare.
Yeah, we're just probably not very happy right now. Especially since you probably blew his spellbook up too.
Oh yeah. I mean, he probably had his staff with, he probably managed to grab his staff as he fell, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if there's something that you want to try to recover, we can make a luck check against it as well. Like later, if there's something, we can always just do that. If
you know what? Can I do that to see if the bag I grabbed has the eggs in it?
Oh yes, sure.
Okay. Look. Yeah. Whew. 8 under 12.
Okay, nice. So I'm going to do this just so we can have a way of moderating this. I'm going to roll a d4. Oh, no, okay. All right, so only one more time can you do that. I was going to give you up to 4 more times so you could randomly decide something was in that bag. But yeah, the eggs are definitely a thing to save. Actually, the whole thing blows up and you have eggs somehow. It's like somehow you managed to have eggs.
Just that good.
Yep, you are just that good. Holy cow. So yeah,
Right.
They seem a little distraught that their taxes are spread out, and they're collecting the coins and bringing them up like onto the shore or whatever. I mean, like one guy had like one of those like caps that you put on when you swim so your hair doesn't get wet, even though he doesn't have any hair. So he's got the cap out holding it, and they're all trying to fill it with money, the gold as they collect it, because of course they don't have a box to put it in anymore.
Yeah. Well, now I guess we need to walk to the river with you, because we also need to return to Singa and get another, or to and buy another boat.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to say that they were able to salvage because I did say stuff fell off the boat when it tipped. So I'm going to say they were able to salvage a suitcase or two, and it does take most of the rest of the day because it takes a long time to collect all this gold because it's of course it's all mixed in with the soil of the river.
Hmm.
Um, but in the end, they think that they've got it all. They're counting it. They counted a couple of times to make sure they, you know, so you definitely you want to make sure you pay all your taxes. You don't want to cut short any of these payments, or else they send people after you. It'd be very
Oh,
dangerous. Yeah.
yes, very dangerous people. And she's like dripping wet and covered in probably shrapnel cuts. And she's just looking at him like, I just need to get back to the town now and figure out what we're doing. Oh,
Yes, yes, indeed. So you're probably going to have to camp because they do not want to walk down the river in the dark. I mean, you can get a little bit further, but you're not going to get all the way back today after that incident.
okay, we can camp, but I don't have anything to start a fire or anything like that. So they're going to have to do it. Do you bears know how to start a fire? You must, because you had a fire going.
Oh yeah, they like I said, they got like their suitcase. So I'll say they have a couple of things. They've got like they don't all have pajamas, but maybe there's a couple of pajamas, and then they have like some. We'll say they have something to start a fire with. Well, you can rub two sticks together or whatever. I mean, they'll figure out how to do it. Um,
What is Maya thinking?
so Maya, her hair now is all like crazy, and she's like, wow, that was pretty amazing. Is it always like this? Defeating monsters, fighting for the good. Do we have another boat?
We're going to have to go back and get another boat, unfortunately.
Oh,
But if we can get another boat, we can continue where we were supposed to be going.
okay.
But yes, there's quite a few monsters when you journey. I told you I couldn't ensure your safety.
Well, I was pretty safe. I jumped right out of the boat. Jumped.
Right. But yes, there's oftentimes monsters and statues. They're the worst.
Yeah, that one was in the water. That's weird.
This is not the weirdest thing I've seen.
Oh, do tell, fair lady, says one of the bears named Roger.
Roger. Well, I've seen other statues that held birds' nests. I've seen a mummy. I've seen a rhinoceros made of iron. So.
Oh, an iron rhino. I've only heard legends of such things, because there are great hunters that have wiped them out. They're known to be the best hunters in all of the Death Roll kingdoms.
Well, the rhinos are real, that's for sure. There might not be many left, but they are real, and they are iron.
Well, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, so you set up camp on the shore. Everybody's kind of wet, and you build a very relatively large fire. Hang whatever clothes you can until they can dry. They don't have their fishing poles or anything. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's kind of gathered around. Some of the bears have pajamas put on, but the other ones are just kind of in their swim trunks still. They don't look very happy to be, in wet swim trunks, but they don't really have a choice. Yeah, you set up a camp. Let's see. Roll a d4 to see what happens.
Okay.
You like when I say that? Because you know something's happening.
Oh, look, a 1.
Oh, fantastic. So, you're sitting there on the shore, probably contemplating, what you've done with your life. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of sitting there looking out at the water, maybe, and all of a sudden, like it doesn't come up from the water. It literally comes up. It just appears on the surface of the water and then kind of like sinks into it a little bit. Crocodile. It's like it just like snaps into existence. It's like and splots down, and you can see actually blood trickling, like pouring out of its where it looks like it's one of its forelimbs got torn off or something, and it's bleeding, and as it kind of sinks into the water. Yeah.
Oh. Why not? I'll go out there and try to help him. Crocodiles they're special, right? So yeah.
You're gonna go out into the water in the dark. You might forget.
I'm going to.
No, it's not dark yet. Well, I can know actually it's dark yet.
I'll get Orin.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's just still sitting there fuming,
Right.
very angry.
Well, Orin has collected like a handful of like rolled up paper that's all wet that was part of his spell book, and he's like kind of folding them out.
Oh yeah, he's gonna use his staff to kind of. We're wet anyway. Like feel around in the water as we walk out towards the crocodile, just because if he's bloody.
Okay.
And we did hear about a serial killer.
That's right, you did. Yeah, so you do that. I mean, you put the staff in the water. The goldfish, of course, are all circling around. There's some over, because goldfish will eat the crocodile because fish are terrible. So I mean, right. They're basically they're gathered around where blood's coming in or whatever. But yeah, nothing more than goldfish are in the thing. In fact, when you get close to the crocodile, it turns its head and it looks, and you can see that it's a little bit kind of out of it. Almost looks drunkenly at you, and it says, "Who are you? You won't get away with it if you're part of this. They'll catch you."
No. Calm down. We're here to help you. What happened?
It was a man. He tried to kill me. And he's kind of like, you can see he's trying to like move, but of course he's missing a leg, so he's like awkward with it, and blood's kind of coming out, and you can see that he's kind of, his eyes are glossing a bit.
I'll tell him, grab onto the staff with your teeth gently, and we'll like help you get to the shore. Okay.
Yeah. He says,
smile at me like that.
he says, okay, and he tries to grab the staff, and I mean he can if you let him.
Yeah, and we'll kind of like tow him if he can kind of limp along the bottom on his one foreleg.
Yeah, he can. I mean, he's heavy and weak, but in the water especially, he's not too bad. But then, of course, once you get to the shore, it's a little bit tougher to get it, But you're able to manage to. And if you were to ask him, the bears would come and help to drag this guy up onto the shore. And you can definitely see that he's bleeding. Looks like that. If you look at it, the wound, at first you thought maybe it was like torn off or something because it's an animal or whatever. But you can see very distinctly it's like hacked, like it was probably done with some kind of cleaver or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have any bandages or anything, so
no. However, Maya does have the prayer to the skilled ones, and she can actually heal. Oh. Da, 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 Maya to the rescue. You never asked her what she could do. I'll let you roll it though. Roll a d20 plus
d20
plus 2.
15.
Oh, that's good actually. Let's see. I'll look into the cleric's healing. She's not actually a cleric, but she's going to function like a cleric for this. So the way it works in DCC, I don't know if we've used a cleric before, is you have to check. Okay, so it's over 14, right? And it depends on. Okay, so she is neutral, and so so he's going to heal 2 dice. Oh, that's good. All right, that's enough. I'm not going to worry about his executive points right now because we don't need to worry about. But basically, yeah, she comes over and starts saying a prayer, and it's a little bit weird because, as mentioned, like it's hard for most human types to speak the language, the names and stuff of the crocodiles. But you hear her, and she's like, like making like the guttural sounds that they make, and you actually see the wound start to mend on him, and it still looks like it's like you could probably take just her hand and rip it open again, like it's just like scabbed or whatever. It's not perfectly sealed, but it's not bleeding anymore. And the crocodile seems incredibly weak, and he says, "There's a killer in the woods."
What did he look like? Man can mean many things in these islands, I have discovered.
He was a man. A I mean, he kind of describes to you what he was a man. Like he's not blue or anything. He's basically like, he was a man. He's. I mean, the crocodiles don't understand like humans enough to know like how to be able to describe how old he is or whatever. But you get from it that he was definitely a man, not like a woman, and that he was maybe a little bit larger than average size, so kind of like maybe tall. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but he, otherwise you all look the same to him for the most part. I mean, he doesn't have a way to distinguish. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure all the crocodiles look the same to me. So, um, hmm. Well, how did he get the jump on you? Did he just come out of nowhere?
Yes, I was heading to the palace actually, and to see the king, Naraja. I don't know if he's a king or not. He's a royal guy. Naraja, and I saw him approaching, and I just ignored him like you do. Nobody pays attention to humans. And then he jumped on my back and chopped at my arm. And I moved as quickly as possible to the water. I have an ability to move through great distances in the water. I thought of a place where I had been happy in the past and appeared here. I think I must have shaken him off just before I moved.
So he didn't attack you here.
No, we are in the goldfish canals, right?
Yes, you are. Where did he
Yes.
attack you? The woods?
Right on the way to the palace,
On the way to the palace.
which is basically it's further up the river, further up the main river.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been hearing about these attacks on your kind. They've been happening all over the Death Roll Kingdoms, according to rumor.
Why would any man want to kill a crocodile? We are so perfect of specimens to look at. You should just try to be like us.
Well, not everybody may agree with you, and some humans are just evil.
Yes. I wasn't sure humans were smart enough to be evil, but apparently they are.
Well, some of us, anyway, can be evil.
Right.
But we are not, and what else can we do to help you?
I need to eat. Perhaps an animal will give themselves to us.
Maybe. I could send one of the bears to find somebody. So find an animal.
He kind of looks around. Oh, yes. Men from Candace. We do fair trade with you. And then he kind of like starts to like drift off a bit.
Okay.
And yeah, they are actually, if you send them out to get food, make a luck check.
Okay. Yes, I rolled a 4.
Yeah, so they kind of spread out a little bit, and then one of them calls and he says, I think I see a trail over here from a giant turkey. So then they spread out and find this turkey, apparently, because when they come back, they've got a turkey. It kind of waddles into camp with them, and then goes over to like a rock or whatever and puts its head down. You know, and then they kind of look at you because they don't have any weapons. You lost all their shit.
Yes, I did. But I may have also saved their lives. Don't forget that.
That's true. But I'm assuming you still have a sword. You probably had it on your side.
Yeah, I have a dagger. That'll work, right?
Oh yeah, we gotta chop off turkey's head with a dagger. Go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you if you care to do that, the turkey will let you chop up its head.
Are you? I will say, are you sure about this? I'm not used to animals just agreeing to be eaten.
When you say that, the turkey like kind of comes back up and it looks at you and it says, "Well, have you ever asked before?"
I haven't. Now that you mention it.
Yes. Not many do. They just take without asking.
Well, thank you for your sacrifice.
You're welcome. If it helps you and helps the crocodile kingdoms, it is worth it.
Okay. I don't. Yeah, he needs to eat. I guess I will. I I don't like to do it, but I will.
Okay. Yeah, the turkey, the giant. It's not just a regular turkey; it's a giant turkey. The giant turkey, sacrifices itself, um, and you're able to cook it up, or whatever. I mean, the crocodile will eat it raw, of course, but you can eat some of it if you want cooked. Of course, the men from Candace want it to be cooked because they don't eat raw food if they can avoid it, unless it's sushi.
Right.
Yeah. But the crocodile doesn't care if it's cooked or not. I mean, he'll either way. I mean, I guess he's knocked out, so if you cook all the food, he'll eat it cooked. That's also fun. They do both.
Okay, yeah, I will feed him if he's awake.
Good.
I'll give him some food.
Yeah, he kind of comes in and out of it. So at some point when he's up and you've got some food cooked, you put it in his mouth, and he's a crocodile. So he's like, he eats it. That's my crocodile impression, right? And yeah, I mean, the night passes. He doesn't die or anything, which is good. But obviously he's hurt, pretty badly. So he spends most of the night sleeping. You have a nice big fire. The men from Candies, they sing campfire songs. Even the ones that are just kind of in their bathing suits, so they're in a better mood now. They do mention several times they would like to be like able to toast marshmallows, but they don't have any. So they do without, right? Because that's what you can do. So, any final thoughts before we wrap up today?
Nope. Just Yuna has made a rash decision, but hey, it happens sometimes.
It happens. It could definitely happen. So Yuna, Oren, the slug.
Yeah, I'll think of a name for him.
Maya, the 6 men from Candace, and
the crocodile.
The crocodile are all camped out for the night, and we'll see where this leads us next time.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, boy.